Hey, Heartland fans! Welcome back to Next Scene, your go-to home for everything Heartland, where we bring you the drama, the love, and the legacy of the Fleming Bartlett family like never before. Today, we're diving into the long-awaited Season 19 premiere, and trust me, this one hits different. We're unraveling the stunning mystery surrounding Ty Borden's return, a twist that no one saw coming but every fan has been hoping for. But that's not all. We'll take a heartfelt journey through the emotional responses from those who loved him most: Amy, who's torn between past and present; Lindy, who finally feels her father's presence; Jack and Lou, caught between disbelief and joy; Georgie, whose heart is full of questions and time wrestling with regrets and second chances. If you've been waiting for that emotional spark to reignite in Heartland, this is it. So don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell, because we're just getting started with this unforgettable chapter. Let's ride into it together. The episode opens with a breathtaking aerial sweep of Heartland Ranch, drenched in the golden hues of early morning. The familiar expanse of rolling fields, the timeless red barn standing proud, and the gentle rustling of the wind through the trees instantly welcome viewers back to the soul of the series. It's more than a setting, it's home, steeped in memories, love, and quiet resilience. As the camera glides closer, we find Amy Fleming, portrayed with quiet strength by Amber Marshall, moving gracefully through her morning routine. She's in the paddock, surrounded by the horses she's always trusted more than words. Her eyes reflect a deep, contemplative stillness, a woman at peace with her surroundings, but still carrying the silent ache of a heart that hasn't fully healed. The warmth of the sun contrasts sharply with the cold void left by Ty's absence, and it's in these small, wordless moments that Amy's internal battle is felt most powerfully. Each action, every feed bucket placed, every gentle stroke across a horse's mane reveals a piece of her emotional landscape. There's a pause as she leans against the fence, her gaze distant, lost in thought. The camera lingers here, soaking in the quiet heartbreak etched into her expression. A single tear nearly falls, but doesn't. She's learned to hold it all in. This isn't just routine, it's survival. And it sets a haunting, emotionally charged tone for everything that follows. Later, as the golden light fills the cozy kitchen, Amy returns indoors to find Lindy waiting, her eyes bright with that special kind of childhood wonder. The house, though, still warm and welcoming, carries the echoes of laughter that once filled it. The scent of pancakes and the clinking of dishes paint a picture of normalcy, yet under the surface, both mother and daughter are navigating a world forever changed. Their morning conversation begins with the usual chatter, Lindy's stories about school, her excitement over the horses, but it quickly takes a tender, gut-wrenching turn. With the innocence only a child can possess, Lindy asks the question Amy dreads the most. "Mommy, where's Daddy?" Time slows. The warmth in Amy's eyes dims just slightly. Her heart stirs with emotions too big to speak, but she forces a gentle smile, not wanting to let the heaviness of the truth break the moment. Amy kneels beside Lindy, brushing a strand of hair from her face, and softly explains that Ty had to go away for a while, that he loves them deeply, even if he's not here. Her voice trembles, not from weakness, but from the sheer strength it takes to carry both her grief and her daughter's hope. Lindy's innocent reply, "Will he ever come back?" lands like a whisper in a thunderstorm. Before Amy can even process the question, life takes a sudden turn. Outside, the rhythm of the ranch is interrupted by a lone figure in the distance. The camera shifts, wide and cinematic, capturing the stranger as a speck on the horizon. There's an eerie stillness in the air, broken only by the sound of hooves and wind. Tension builds with every step the figure takes. Is it a traveler? A neighbor? Or could it be something more? Amy, back in the paddock, notices the silhouette moving toward the ranch. She squints, her posture stiffening, breath catching in her throat. The camera draws in close to her face. A symphony of emotions plays across it: confusion, anxiety, disbelief, and beneath it all, an impossible flicker of hope. Her hand tightens around the bridle, and almost unconsciously, she takes a hesitant step forward, drawn by something deeper than reason. The air thickens. Hearts race. And in that moment, we feel it too. Something is about to change forever. The stranger's silhouette becomes clearer, and Amy's breath catches as she realizes who it might be. The tension reaches its peak as the figure steps into the light, revealing Ty Borden, played by Graham Wardle. The background score swells, heightening the emotional intensity of the moment. Ty stands still, looking at Amy with a mixture of apprehension and hope. For a moment, time seems to stand still as they lock eyes. Amy's reaction is a whirlwind of emotions. Her face reflects shock, joy, confusion, and a deep, aching love. Tears well up in her eyes as she slowly walks toward him, her movements tentative, as if she fears this moment might be a dream. Ty, too, seems overwhelmed, his eyes glistening with unshed tears. As they finally stand face to face, the air is thick with unspoken words and pent-up emotions. This scene is masterfully executed, with the cinematography and music working together to create a powerful emotional experience. The use of close-ups on the characters' faces allows the audience to feel the depth of their emotions, making this reunion a moment of raw, genuine emotion. As the reality of Ty's return sinks in, Amy reaches out to touch his face, as if to confirm that he's really there. The touch is electric, a moment of undeniable connection. She whispers his name, her voice choked with emotion. Ty, unable to hold back any longer, pulls her into a tight embrace. They cling to each other, both crying as the weight of the past few years melts away. In a soft, tear-filled voice, Ty begins to explain his absence. He reveals that he was placed in witness protection after testifying against a dangerous criminal. For years, the truth had been buried beneath layers of secrecy and sacrifice. The government, fearing for his safety and that of his family, had placed Ty Borden in protective custody following an undisclosed threat linked to his humanitarian work in Mongolia. It was a painful decision, one that tore him away from everyone he loved. Now finally deemed safe to return, he stood before Amy, a ghost from the past brought back to life. As Ty speaks, his voice is steady, but carries the weight of everything he's endured in silence. Amy, overwhelmed by the flood of emotions, listens with her whole being. Her eyes shimmer with tears, reflecting the agony of their separation and the impossible relief of his return. Each word he says feels like both a salve and a blade, soothing her longing heart, but cutting through the time lost forever. She wants to be angry, to scream for all the birthdays missed, all the nights Lindy cried for her father, all the dreams they didn't get to live. But all she can do is reach for him. Her hands tremble as they meet his face, real and warm, and she breaks down. Her tears spill freely, not from pain alone, but from the overwhelming joy of having him back alive, here now. Inside the ranch house, Lindy peers through the window, her little nose pressed against the glass. She sees her mother clinging to a man she doesn't recognize, and her brow furrows with innocent confusion. There's something oddly familiar about him, something in the way he holds Amy, in the shape of his smile. Curiosity pulls her outside. She tiptoes onto the porch, her small boots crunching against the gravel. As she gets closer, she slows down, sensing the intensity of the moment. Ty turns at the sound of her footsteps, and the world seems to stop. His breath catches as he sees his daughter for the first time in years. She's taller now, stronger, a little version of both him and Amy. But her eyes, that same spark he used to see when she was just a baby, it's still there. Ty drops to his knees, his eyes brimming with tears as he whispers, "Hi, Lindy." Silence falls. Lindy stands frozen, studying his face with quiet intensity. Her young mind pieces together the impossible. Then, as if something deep within her simply knows, she breaks into a sprint and throws herself into his arms. She buries her face into his shoulder, and Ty clutches her like he'll never let go again. Tears roll down his cheeks, and Amy watches, her heart cracking wide open at the sight of their reunion. It's raw, it's real, and it's the very definition of love, a love that not even time or distance could destroy. Family reactions. News of Ty's return spreads through Heartland Ranch like wildfire. One by one, the people who once held him so dear arrive, each carrying their own grief, hopes, and memories. Jack, the rugged, ever-reserved patriarch, is the first to arrive. His footsteps are slow, heavy with disbelief. When his eyes finally meet Ty's, the old man stops in his tracks. Years of quiet sorrow flicker across his weathered face. There's no need for words, just a long, soul-deep look exchanged between two men who've seen too much and said too little. Then Jack steps forward, gripping Ty by the shoulders and pulling him into a tight, unmistakably fatherly embrace. "Welcome home, son," he murmurs, voice gravelly with emotion, his hand shaking ever so slightly. It's a rare moment of vulnerability from Jack, a glimpse beneath the layers of strength and silence that have defined him for so long. Next comes Lo, sharp-minded and fiercely protective. She arrives breathless, having rushed from work the moment she heard. Her eyes widen in disbelief as she sees Ty alive, flesh and bone, not just a memory. Her lips tremble as she walks toward him, the tension of years cracking in a single breath. Without hesitation, she wraps him in a firm, tearful hug. "It's so good to see you," she whispers into his ear, her voice thick with joy and unspoken worries. Even now, her mind races with questions: what happened, what comes next, and how the family will move forward. And then there's Georgie. Always the bold, spirited one, Georgie rushes onto the scene like a whirlwind. The sight of Ty stops her in her tracks, and for a split second, she just stares, disbelief, joy, and childhood memories flashing across her face. But then she moves. She runs straight into Ty's arms, laughing and crying at the same time. "I knew it," she says through her tears. "I always believed you'd come back." For a moment, they all stand together, Amy, Lindy, Jack, Lou, and Georgie, gathered in a circle of quiet awe and overwhelming emotion. The past hasn't disappeared and the future is uncertain, but in this moment, the family is whole again, and that's everything. "I can't believe you're back," she exclaims, her voice filled with joy. Ty laughs, a sound that hasn't been heard around the ranch in far too long. He hugs Georgie tightly, grateful for her enthusiasm and support. George's reaction is a refreshing burst of youthful energy and optimism, a stark contrast to the more reserved reactions of the adults. Tim, the often gruff and complicated father of Amy and Lou, arrives last. His relationship with Ty has always been complex, marked by moments of tension and mutual respect. Tim's face is a mask of controlled emotion as he approaches. For a moment, there's a tense silence, as if both men are unsure of how to proceed. Then, in a rare show of vulnerability, Tim extends his hand. Ty hesitates for a split second before shaking it. The handshake is firm, but there's a hint of a smile on Tim's face. "Glad you're back," he says, his voice gruff but sincere. This moment of reconciliation is a subtle but significant step in mending their complicated relationship. New normal. With Ty's return, the Heartland family begins to adjust to their new normal. The initial joy of the reunion is soon tempered by the challenges of reintegrating Ty into their daily lives. The family gathers around the kitchen table, a familiar scene filled with warmth and laughter. They share stories, reminisce about the past, and catch up on lost time. The atmosphere is light and filled with love, but beneath the surface, there are deeper currents of emotion. Amy and Ty have several private conversations away from the bustle of the family. They talk about their time apart, the struggles they faced, and their hopes for the future. These conversations are filled with a mixture of relief, sadness, and cautious optimism. Amy expresses her fears about the challenges they might face as a family, while Ty reassures her of his commitment to making things work. Their dialogues are heartfelt and honest, a testament to the strength of their relationship. They acknowledge that, while they have a lot to work through, their love for each other remains steadfast. The Heartland community is abuzz with the news of Ty's return. Friends and neighbors drop by the ranch, each bringing warm wishes and expressions of joy. There's a palpable sense of relief and happiness among the community members, who have always been a close-knit and supportive group. The community's reaction is captured in a beautifully filmed scene where they throw a small welcome back party for Ty. The scene is filled with laughter, music, and heartfelt speeches, showcasing the strong bonds that tie the Heartland family to the wider community. However, Ty's return isn't without its challenges. The family must navigate the complexities of reintegration, including the emotional and psychological impacts of his absence. There are moments of tension as they adjust to their new reality. For instance, Amy and Ty struggle to find a new rhythm in their relationship as they have both changed during their time apart. They have disagreements about parenting and the future, reflecting the natural friction that can arise when two people who love each other are faced with significant life changes. Lindy, in particular, faces her own challenges in adjusting to having her father back. While she is thrilled to have him home, she also experiences confusion and uncertainty. Ty makes a concerted effort to bond with her, taking her on horse rides and spending quality time together. These scenes are heartwarming, showcasing Ty's gentle and caring nature. Lindy's gradual comfort around Ty and her growing affection for him are portrayed with sensitivity, highlighting the nuanced dynamics of their relationship. Throughout the episode, the narrative is interspersed with flashbacks of Amy and Ty's most memorable moments. These flashbacks serve as a poignant reminder of their deep and enduring bond. The scenes include significant milestones like their wedding, the birth of Lindy, and quieter, tender moments that capture the essence of their love story. These glimpses into the past not only evoke nostalgia, but also underscore the emotional weight of Ty's return. Amy, in particular, reflects on the strength she has gained over the years. The flashbacks contrast with scenes of her present-day resilience, highlighting her growth as an individual and a mother. She has become a pillar of strength for her family, and her journey is a central theme of the episode. These reflections are complemented by a beautifully composed musical score, which enhances the emotional impact of these moments. As the episode draws to a close, Amy and Ty sit together on the porch, looking out over the ranch. The golden hues of the setting sun bathe them in a warm glow, creating a serene and hopeful atmosphere. They discuss their future, sharing their dreams and aspirations for their family. This conversation is a delicate balance of hope and realism, as they acknowledge the challenges they will face, but express their commitment to overcoming them together. Ty talks about his desire to return to veterinary work and his passion for helping animals. Amy, on the other hand, expresses her wish to continue her work with horses and to expand their business. They also discuss the possibility of having more children, a topic that brings a mixture of excitement and apprehension. This dialogue is filled with love and optimism, setting the stage for the challenges and triumphs they will encounter in the rest of the season. And that's a wrap on our in-depth breakdown of Heartland Season 18, Episode 1. Ty Borden's return has brought a whirlwind of emotions, not just for the characters, but for us viewers as well. The reactions from Amy, Lindy, Jack, Lou, Georgie, and Tim have added layers of depth and complexity to this emotional homecoming. As they navigate this new chapter, we can only anticipate the journey ahead with bated breath. What did you think of Ty's return and the reactions of the Heartland family? How do you think their relationships will evolve in the upcoming episodes? We'd love to hear what you think was Ty's return everything you hoped for. What moments moved you the most? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and join the conversation with fellow Heartland fans. This community is built on passion, connection, and shared love for the show, and your voice matters. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, share, and hit that subscribe button so you never miss a moment of Heartland magic. Here at Nextine, we've got plenty more emotional journeys, character analyses, and exciting theories coming your way. Thank you so much for watching, for supporting us, and for keeping the spirit of Heartland alive. We can't wait to ride into the next chapter with you.